Ciao a tutti! Today I'm going to talk about my hometown, Bologna in Italy. So, if you're planning to visit this beautiful city for a short break and you'd like to know what to go and see, then keep watching this video. All the places I'm going to talk about are within walking distance from the centre of Bologna, which is Piazza Maggiore, the main square, so you don't have to worry about public transport or renting a car. Piazza Maggiore is the main square. It's beautiful during the day, but I think it's even more beautiful at night with all the lights around. There are plenty of bars and restaurants around the square, but they're not necessarily the best ones. If you just want to sit down and have a drink, then that's fine. There's a beautiful place to sit and watch people walking by. But if you would like a nice local meal, then I would always recommend to find a restaurant in one of those little streets near the square. And normally the places that are less posh and more simple, down to earth, are the ones that serve very nice local food. But obviously, you're free to go wherever you want. Places to see around Piazza Maggiore, well, at least the ones I recommend, are Fontana del Nettuno, Sala Borsa, Palazzo Comunale, Voltone del Podestà, and Basilica di San Petronio. Fontana del Nettuno is a beautiful fountain. It was built in the 16th century, and the Neptune statue standing at the top was meant to represent the Pope ruling the world like Neptune ruled the seas. Sitting around Neptune, you'll see four little angels, and they represent the rivers of the four continents discovered at the time. And then below them, there are four mermaids, and they're quite interesting because they're holding their breasts, and the water comes out from their nipples. But more interesting than the mermaids, I think it's the story of the fountain. Because the artist who designed the fountain, he wanted to he wanted Neptune to have big bollocks, but the Pope didn't allow him. So what he did was designing the statue in a way that, from a certain angle, the left hand, Neptune's left hand, looks like an erected penis, big one. So, from the west side of Piazza Maggiore, you can access Sala Borsa, which is one of the local libraries. But it's more than that, because when you walk in, you'll see this big glass flooring, which allows people to admire the Roman ruins on which the building was built on. And sometimes you can even access them downstairs and see the ruins from more close up. It's free to go in, so I think it's worth a quick visit. Palazzo Comunale or Palazzo d'Accursio is a beautiful building not far from Sala Borsa and Fontana del Nettuno. It was built in the 13th century to keep the public reserves of cereals. You are free to go inside and have a wander around. All you have to do is walk up the big 16th century staircase. Voltone del Podestà, you can't miss this one. It's completely free. It's not far from Fontana del Nettuno, and it's something that every time I walk past, I used to stop and do it, and all the locals do. It's something that local people know, not many tourists know. So what you have to do is walk under the Voltone del Podestà, and which is like a magic Voltone. Because what happens is, well, you need two people to do this. One person, well, two people have to stand facing the wall in two opposite corners, and one of you has to whisper against the wall, and the person standing in the opposite corner will hear you loud and clearly. It's we call it telefono senza fili, which means telephone without cables, because it's some magic thing that because of the shape of the arch, the sound travels in a way that it's amazing. Basilica di San Petronio was built in the 14th century, and it took about 300 years to complete it. Well, actually, it never got completed 100%. This because after years of constructing the church, well, the basilica, they changed the building plans into a croce latina because they wanted to build the biggest church in the world. And when the Pope heard of this, obviously he didn't want Bologna to own a church bigger than San Pietro Vaticana Roma. So what he did was he built l'Archiginnasio, which is a building next to the Basilica, and therefore the works on the Basilica, they stopped for a while. Well, first because of a lack of money, but also because of the disappointment of not being able to build this big church. So you'll notice that the basilica is not completed. Well, it's clearly not finished when you look at the front of the church. Only the bottom bit of the church is completed. The half top isn't. But still, it's quite a big basilica. It's the third biggest church in Italy, the sixth biggest church in Europe, and the 15th biggest church in the world. So it's still not bad. And entrance to the basilica is free, and inside you'll find the biggest still working organo, I don't know how you say it, in the world, the music instrument, and also the oldest sundial in the world. So have a nose around and enjoy it. Palazzo dell'Archiginnasio was built in the 16th century, and it was a university building up to 1803. In fact, Bologna's university is the oldest university in Europe. It was founded in the 11th century. Access to the Archiginnasio is completely free, so go for it. And as soon as you walk in, you'll notice how beautiful it is. All the walls, the ceilings, the arches, the staircases are decorated with thousands of coats of arms and students' names. Upstairs there is a university library, and something that's really worth seeing, which is the Teatro Anatomico, or the Anatomical Theatre, which is a room all made of carved wood, where they used to do the anatomy lessons. So even if this building was really badly damaged during the Second World War with the bombings, they've done an amazing restoration, and it's so beautiful, and thanks to these people now everyone can enjoy it. Mercato di Mezzo is situated east of Piazza Maggiore, and you'll find lots of little shops and stalls selling local food such as Parmigiano Reggiano, salame, prosciutto, mortadella, cotechino, tortellini, tortelloni, fresh fruit and vegetables, fresh fish. It's an explosion of colours and smells. So have a walk around and why not have a taste of something? Le due torri, the two towers, Garisenda and Asinelli, are the symbol of Bologna and they were strategically built where the old Via Emilia, the Emilian Way, used to enter the town. They were built in the 12th century and they had a military purpose, but also they gave prestige to the families who used to own them. At the time, there were over 100 towers like these ones in Bologna. But unfortunately, today, because of wars, fires, bombings, only about 20 are still up. The Garisenda Tower is about 47 meters high, and the Zinelli Tower is about 97 meters high. You can access the Asinelli Tower, it's about €3 per person, but you have to climb all the 498 wooden steps to reach the top. But it's totally worth it. You get an amazing view of Bologna. And when the weather is nice and clear, you can even see the Alps and the sea. Le Sette Chiese, also known as Santo Stefano, it's a group of 7 churches built in 430. Unfortunately, of these 7 churches, only 4 are left. From Santo Stefano Square, you can see the front of 3 of these 4 churches, Chiesa del Crocifisso, Basilica del Sepolcro and Chiesa di San Vitale Agricola. Inside the first church, La Chiesa del Crocifisso, you'll find a very pretty crypt. And there are lots of columns, they're all different from each other. And according to the legends, one of these columns is the exact height of Jesus Christ. In the second church, La Chiesa del Sepolcro, which is also the oldest of these churches, there are 12 columns surrounding a copy of Christ's sepulchre, which is to contain the remains of San Petronio up to year 2000 when they were moved to Basilica San Petronio in Piazza Maggiore. In this sepulchre there is a little door that used to be open for about a week a year to let people go inside and pay respect to the saint's remains. And also under this church there is a little stream that people say it represents the River Jordan. In the third church, Chiesa di San Vitale Agricola, there are the graves of these 2 saints, along with old columns belonging to Roman and Byzantine buildings, and also remains of the 6th century mosaic floor. In the fourth church, the Chiesa della Trinità, you'll see a large group of wooden statues representing the adoration of the Magi. And this is the oldest crib in the world, made of statues all in the round. Last but not least, it's Little Venice, La Piccola Venezia. If you're walking around Via Bertiera, turn into Via Piella, and after about 50 meters on your right hand side, you'll see a little window in the wall that actually it looks like part of the wall that you can open up, if it makes any sense. So open this little window and you'll see the little Venice. So I hope this video was helpful. You can find more information in my blog. But if you have any questions or if you'd like to know more about Bologna, please don't hesitate to leave a comment. And that's it. Bye for now.